And look at Randy Orton slithering.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out! KO! Here's the cover!
Hey, what's up everyone, and we're back here today with another video, even though I've already technically recorded one, but we're not using that one because apparently the ending of it got screwed up somehow. So instead, we're going to be looking at my first game ever in the unskinned M41 90mm. I guess that's technicality because I have played the Hall and Hound and have played hundreds of games in the Hall and Hound, but this is technically the first game I've had in this tank, the unskinned version. I actually picked this out of a war chest, I think about a couple weeks ago now, and I haven't really played a game in it since until yesterday, and this was the first game actually. And luckily we got Live Oaks, which is a fantastic map for light tanks. Generally speaking, it's not probably on the level of like Mount Ofka or Proc or anything like that. For spotting, sometimes the other spawn that's debatable. The other spawn is very, very good for scouting. This one's a little less so, but you can still have good results here. But we're moving up pretty aggressively here. We're at top tier, which is very nice. This is a very good light tank. It's one of the older ones, premium wise, but even today it's still super solid, and I'd argue almost probably one of the better ones, honestly. With this 90mm gun it has, so it's pretty much stood the test of time. The other video I was going to show today was going to be two more games from yesterday. This was actually the first good game I had yesterday. Had several very good results from yesterday's session, but I was kind of working on 3-marking all the remaining light tanks that are in my garage, and I did make progress on that. I was able to 3-mark the T50-2 and the T71 CMCD, but apparently there was an issue with the T50-2 end of the game, so it's kind of unfortunate because you're going to miss, I guess, 2 pretty solid games, including the T50-2 game where we picked up our second Radleys of the day out of 3, so kind of unfortunate, but I'm not going to show you guys a clip where it's just static. I don't think anybody wants to watch that. So yeah, here we are in the M4190, and at this point you can kind of see I've given up on that flank because there's no point really fighting that battle, as we line up a shot on the T23, but at this range this gun isn't that great. It's a little derpy at that kind of range, which most light tanks are, with .38 accuracy that it has. It's still very good pen on this gun, at least I think, relatively. 182. It's not crazy, but it's still towards the upper end for light tanks at this tier, I believe. And the heat pen is pretty good also, 250 heat pen as well. And then it has the added benefit of the HEP rounds at 102 pen that have 320 alpha, if you don't already know that. So kind of unique with that HE round, which can put a decent effect. Now, the heat rounds I will have some issue with at the end of the game, and why I prefer APCR as my premium rounds on light tanks. You will see that later, but we'll get into that when we reach that area of the map, or that part of the game. Now, this game, that I left that other spawn because the engagement was so close I couldn't really use the view range or camo. Generally that northern area is where you want to be in scouts, not this southern spawn, because the southern area where the bridges are at is usually so fairly close quarters that it negates the purposes of light tanks. As you see, we're struggling with the heat here. It's bouncing off the engine deck, and then we see the .38 accuracy mark there as that one sails into Never Never Land, apparently. I don't know. And at this point we're switching back to our AP, and I'm just trying to hang out in this area. Maybe the T21 dies, and there we go. That's a good opportunity for us. And we actually have HEP loaded. I think that was for the T21, but we blind fired into the STG. I don't think that's going to pen 102 on the STG frontally, but hey, we hit him, so there's that. And again, we hit the 1375, but no damage. And again, so far this game's been pretty lackluster, hasn't it? Nearly a little over 4 minutes in. I've only done 800 damage, maybe 850 damage based on the STG hit. But things are going to pick up right now. That T21 has died. I see my opportunity. And I'm going to try to flank around here to the left and get behind him. I know where their SU is, or generally where he is. That's the only TD they have. Their light tank is on the other side. Their bat chat's right there who just got spotted. So I'm going to make the play. Hopefully it's a little risky, but right now otherwise we're going to lose if I don't do this play. And load the HE because I don't want to waste it on other tanks. I don't want to waste regular shells on a guy that's on 17 hit points. We line it up on the move and able to snap into the bat chat and kill him. And now we have the rear of these guys, and they don't know I'm back here yet unless they're really paying attention to the minimap until we start shooting. We missed the KV2, we bungled that shot. That would have been a nice pen to have, but we're able to pen the STG for 294. This isn't a perfect game by any chance, and we put another nice roll into the STG with our regular AP rounds, and then we're going to feather that one in and finish him off with a kill. Very, very good shot there. And now we start to see them turn around. We put one into the KV2. I actually see he has 2 marks at this point, so I'm a little worried about that. We try to put one into him, but that one bounces, and he fires a return HE round, which thankfully misses. Stalin was not with him. Very good for us, and I'm just going to play the rear range game here. I'm going to outspot them any day of the week. He's going to try to get out of the way, and hopefully the gun cooperates, and it does. And we're able to take this flank from a lost one where we had 4 tanks on the enemy team pushing to now there's just that T-32A Proto pushing, who is dumping his clip right now, which we're paying attention to, and that's his 3rd shot into the SU. So now he should be reloading. So I'm going to go in. The other 3 tanks on the other side dealing with our medium and TD. They're up by our hill still. At this point, there we go. And we get a nice fire as we put that round into his engine deck. Do we really need to put that 2nd shell in? That's debatable. Probably could have let him burn and save that extra AP shell because we're going to have some issues with the heat later on here. And now the initial reaction here may be to go straight back to our base and try to help our medium. But the best way for me to help our medium is actually to flank around. Me shooting at a stockade frontally and T-29 from the front, you're not playing light tanks to their true advantage. Plus, I want to try to keep tabs on where this guy has been. And we spot him up. Unfortunately missed. The shell velocity on these AP rounds is a little low. I don't remember off the top of my head. If somebody wants to put that in the comments, go ahead. I don't have it with me at the moment. But you can see with the accuracy issues a little bit of this tank and the derpy shell velocity, it can be an issue. And at this point, I'm just trying to see what the T-23 is doing. I want to get around, try to help the SU as fast as possible, but I also want to put myself in the best position to win this game. And I can do that by just knowing where the enemy team is at. And at this point, I don't spot the T-23, and I'm thinking, okay, the stockade and the T-29 are going to keep pushing towards the base. Just guessing and hoping. And if not, hopefully I can use the terrain to get away. And maybe T-23 stay here behind the hill and I can circle him or dump him. But he's not here. So he's ran away. So I'm going to keep pressing forward and see if I can't get the spot on any of them. And there we go. There's the 2 heavies. Our SU spots them crossing in the field. And now there's just a question, where's the T-23? Where'd he go? Well, he's with them as well. So now we actually have them in a bit of a crossfire, and I'm going to try to focus the T-29 first because obviously he's a one-shot, so he's the easiest to kill and bring it down to a 2v2, get the gun out of the game. But we don't have the line of sight on him quite yet, and we do have the line of sight on the T-23, and we're able to take the T-29 out there as he was pushing, and the stockade is not paying attention, but our first shot does nothing. Because Russian armor, but the second one goes below the spaced armor, which is nice. And here I'm just kind of hoping that he doesn't have the accuracy to hit me, which, yeah, that's never a good idea to really do, because Russian tanks, even with his wonderful .46 accuracy that he has, he's able to hit me and take me down to 547 health. So I really don't want to take another shot from him, because then I'm going to hit a one hit for both of them, and definitely a one hit for the T-23. He's the biggest threat, I think, at this point, because he has the better view range. If it was on a city map, yeah, maybe the stockade. But I have a very good crew in this. I have my best German crew, so I'm pretty confident I'm going to be able to outspot him any day of the week on this map, especially now that he's by our base. If he was in the city area, it'd be a little more difficult. But at this point, he's out in the open, and I should be able to outspot him, generally speaking. Now, if they were smart, they could just sit in that depression down low. The T-23 is actually going to do that. But I'm totally changing direction here. And why am I not capping? That's always maybe a little bit of a debacle, is we do pick up the spot on the stockade, and another one bounces off his rear. Why not cap here? Well, I don't want to tell them exactly where I'm at. The T-23 can get back to the cap circle fast enough. I would take a minute and 45 seconds, I believe, or a minute 30 seconds. I don't cap that much, you can tell, to get back. So it's not really a good idea. My best way to win this game right now is to keep them guessing and use my mobility and my view range to pick off at them at distance. And here we track him, and if we had more AP, this would be perfect. And accuracy, as that one sails overhead. But at this point, I think I make a decision. Okay, T-23 is there. The stockade's kind of separated from him at this point. Maybe I can go in on the T-23 if I can pick up the spot on the stockade and see where he's at again. But before we get to that, I'm going to see if I can't maybe spot the T-23. I don't know. Right now, I'm just kind of milling about in my head. What's my next play here? Again, I had the view range advantage here, which is always great for the end game scenarios. And here we pick up the stockade across the swamp. Not really the best play, but again, the heat rounds are killing me right now because of the spaced armor on the stockade on the side. I only have 10 rounds left, and we try to put another one in, and we hit tracks. And at this point, he's going to get into cover. And honestly, I think even if he wasn't in cover, I think at this point I'm like, okay, I need to wait for that engagement until I can hopefully get closer to him. He's way away from his teammate at this point. T-23 is in one shot for me, 9 times out of 10 at 212 health. I do get spotted by the stockade, I believe, or the T-23, I don't know. And here's important. We're not going to keep crossing the field in the direct open. We're going to use the T-29 corpse as cover, keep me covered from this guy, and we're able to finish him off. Big mistake by the stockade, separating from the T-23, and we're going to take advantage of that massively, as we're able to finish off his teammate and take this into a 1v1. And we do a little juke there, wait till we're unspotted, and go the other direction again. And I have a general idea of where he's at. He's in the swamp. There's no way he has a dead engine as well, so there's no way he got out of that swamp fast enough yet. I'm just going to keep this kind of patrol in this area near my base. We only have 2 minutes and 12 seconds left, so I have to basically kill him. I'm not capping in this game. Now would be a bad idea to cap if you had the stockade spotted somewhere pretty far away. But now with the time limit, that's just off the table here completely. And at this point, I'm like, okay, I can't waste any more time. Maybe I can spot him somewhere in the distance. The worst case scenario would be if he's right over this hill. That would be just the worst. But hopefully we can spot him off in the distance. And oh shit, there he is. So RBRTing on a IS-3 model is not the best idea. We're gonna have to free aim these shots, and that one just whiffs through his turret. We only have 6 shells remaining. It should be enough, but with his bad turret traverse and his dead engine on swampy ground, we still have the advantage here. Again, I don't want to fire into that spaced armor at close range. That's always a mistake with light tank drivers, and myself included, but we're going to finish him off with the free aim shots and pick up our 8th kill of the game and win that 1 versus 3 scenario. So talk about that IS-3 engagement, or stockade, whatever, but it's always an issue with light tanks, and I like tier 8 a lot, and you run into a lot of IS-3 variants of this tier, is when you get real close to them, when you're auto-locking onto them, it generally auto-locks onto the spaced armor part, and you can bounce quite easily, especially if you're firing heat. and it just gets absorbed. So instead of doing the manual RBRT mode, generally want to just free aim it at those kind of scenarios. Granted, that helps because that tank has a very slow turret traverse for what it has, and also he was on swampy ground and had a dead engine, so that helps massively. As you see, we pick up the Radley Walters Ace Tanker, just shy of 5,000 damage, which considering the first 4 minutes of the game we had 800 damage. Very nice result. Very limited assisted damage, only 281, but that's every game's not going to be great scout-wise, assisted-wise. But 2100 base XP and a very, very solid first game in the M4190. And I look forward to playing more of this because I like the All-Hound a lot. So it's going to be a treat to get to play this tank kind of again as I try to reach that third mark on it. So catch you guys next time and see you. Peace.